The Escaparate Dozen: Effective Habits of Online Sellers. Ensure quality product photos or display on your page. Keep your page updated, new products or service, design, and any new business information. Make your price competitive. Advise Escaparate immediately of changes. Reply promptly to calls, text, and email messages. Respond immediately to complaints or queries. Promote your Escaparate page by forwarding to friends using social media. Visit the Escaparate website, including your page, every day. Ask for feedback or reviews from satisfied shoppers and post them on your page. Deliver your commitment.
Never stop learning.
Pray and do not give up.
Dalawa?
With that po, nakita po natin ang ating effective habits ng ating mga online sellers. Lagi po nating itong isapuso, tandaan, at ilagay po para sa ating pang-araw-araw na gawain po. Para naman po sa ating panalangin, bago magsimula ang session, tayo po ay manalangin sa ngalan ng Ama, ng Anak, at ng Espiritu Santo. Amen. O aming Panginoon, ang pagsasama naming ito ay aming inihahandog sa iyo upang ikaw ay pasalamatan sa iyong walang hanggang awa na pinagkakaloob sa amin. Dinadalangin din namin na kami patuloy na gabayan sa aming mga hakbang at desisyon. Hinihiling namin na gumaling ang lahat ng may sakit at bigyan mo ng mabuting kalusugan, pag-asa, at lakas ang bawat isa. Basbasan ng kapayapaan ng aming puso, ang aming tahanan ng aming bansa, at ang buong mundo. Pagkalooban mo kami ng katalinuhan, sipag at pagtitiyaga na nararapat upang kami ay umunlad. Sumusuko kami sa iyong kalooban at inahayaang sumikat ang iyong liwanag sa amin. Gabayan mo kami at ang aming tagapagsalita upang maging refleksyon mo at ng iyong pagmamahal sa amin. Ito ang aming pasasalamat, aming hiling at ang aming panalangin sa ngalan ni Jesus, aming Panginoon. Amen. So, good morning po muli sa ating lahat, sa mga nandito sa Zoom, at sa ating nakikinig po at nanonood sa ating Facebook Live. Maya-maya lamang po ay ating makikilala ang ating mga resource speakers patungkol po sa building a brand that lasts po. Sa ngayon po, para sa opening remarks, pakinggan po ang ating co-founder, President and COO ng Escaparate.com, President and CEO of Maybridge Finance and Leasing Inc. Palakpakan ang ating Miss Josie R. Natividad. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Jomar. Thank you so much for the introduction. And magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And we also welcome our speakers for today, the husband and wife team of Fifi and Joshua. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you also to the micro entrepreneurs na nandito. And Fifi and Joshua, they never fail to amaze us because every time there's a training, they always go to the trainings, even through hybrid and through Zoom. Okay, so yung topic po natin ngayon is branding. Napaka-importante po ng branding at wala namang ibang pwedeng magsalita niyan tungkol dito sa branding kundi the husband and wife team of Fifi and Joshua. And why is it important? Ba't importante pong branding? Okay. Isa na lang ikukwento ko, no? Isang simpleng kwento. Hindi po ba when you buy yung mga pag bumibili po tayo ng toothpaste, okay, ano po ang unang naiisip natin? Okay, I'll mention the brand, ano? Colgate kaagad, hindi po ba? At saka pag gusto natin ng soft drinks, ano yung una nating nasasabi? Coke or orange? So, in short, nakatatak na sa utak natin. Ano ba yung brand na gusto natin? Although, meron naman tayong ibang gustong bilhin na brand ng toothpaste. Okay, so that's why ang branding is very important. Hindi lang sa mga toothpaste, hindi lang sa mga malalaking brands, kundi pati na rin sa inyo, especially for small businesses. And alam niyo po, ang branding kasi is very important, especially for the micro-entrepreneurs and for the online sellers, because it will now give us, yung consumers, no? Hindi lang kami, kundi yung mga bumibili sa inyo, ng positive perception, lalong-lalo na we are on social media, Facebook Messenger, online selling, TikTok, everywhere, lahat ng social media. So importante po ang branding. Ano po ang nagagawa? That unang-una, nagkakaroon po ng value ang inyong product. Okay. So that's why gusto po natin, let us all help each other in creating a brand. Unang-una, of course, sa inyong product. And then let us all create a brand. May I request everyone for Iskaparate. Actually, Iskaparate for the past 2 years, we gained traction already in terms of awareness. So in short, marami na nakakakilala sa atin, even the government corporations, government agencies like DTI, we were given an award last year, no? So that means nakikilala ng Iskaparate, but sino ba ang aming pinopromote kundi kayo? Okay, wag na tayong mag-antay. Meron lang ibang reminder si Jomar before we introduce the speakers.
Yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat po sa inyong opening remarks. Sa ngayon po, para sa ating session reminders, house rules, number 1, unmute at off ang ating audio-video upang hindi po ma-distorbo ang ating mga resource speakers. Ikalawa po, ang ating chat box, emoticons. Feel free po na maglagay po ng mga questions sa ating mga chat box at maglagay ng mga emoticons. At ang ikatlo po ay notebook and pen, kung saan isusulat po natin ang mga important details na ating maaaring balikan para sa session na ito. At ang ika-4 ay ang group chat before po matapos ang ating session. Ang ika-5 naman po ay ang ating feedback after po ng ating session. No feedback, no certificate po. At ang ikahuli ay questions and concerns patungkol po outside sa ating trainings, more on Iskaparate website, sa ating Iskaparate stores, at sa iba po. Feel free po na kontakin ako sa aking FB Messengers patungkol po sa inyong mga questions and additional concerns po. I-share ko po ang ating Gabay Academy schedules nito pong natapos na February and sa ngayon pong buwan ng Marso. Ang una po ay ang tapang ng loob at kumpiyansa ni Miss Evie Abraham nito pong last day of February, Tuesday po. At ang ikalawa ay ito po yung kahapon na face-to-face sa PTT-CDTI kung saan nagkaroon ng one-on-one consultations sa siyam po na mentors na dumalo sa ating face-to-face session sa PTT-CDTI. Ang ikatlo po ay yung ngayong topic natin na branding. Maya-maya po ay ating maririnig ang ating mga resource speakers. Ang ikaapat ay ang bookkeeping ni Ms. Rami Boyser. At back-to-back po ay ang kanyang BIR filing kung saan marami po sa ating Skaparate members ang gusto pong matutunan yung proseso sa pag-file ng BIR. At ang huli ay ang ating UST doctors kung saan tututukan po ang polycystic ovary syndrome, March 29 po, Miyerkules. Sa ngayon po ay aking i-share ang ating group shot sa natapos pong tapang ng loob at kumpiyansa, courage and confidence po ni Ma'am Evie Abraham kung saan may shinare po siyang formula, offense plus defense is equal to win. Kung saan yung offense po ay yung ating tapang ng loob. At the same time, sasabayan po natin ng defense kung saan yung ating prosperity pagdating po sa pag-iisip, sa mga salitang binibigkas. At the same time, yung ating mapapatunayan papunta po sa ating win kung saan magkaroon ng maraming benta, makabayad ng mga utang, at the same time yung ating lumago yung ating personal, at the same time yung ating mga negosyo. Ito naman po ay ang natapos kahapon po na face-to-face sa ating PTT-CDTI kung saan yung nabanggit ko nga po yung 9 mentors, kung paano po yung proseso ng pagme-mentor, kung mas mahusay ka ba sa matuto sa pagbabasa lamang o sa pakikinig, or habang gumagawa ka ay natututunan mo kung ano po ba yung dapat po nating solusyon sa nangyari po nating kumbaga sa ginawa po natin. At the same time, yung pagiging responsibility natin as seller, yung mga hamon natin sa karera, yung mga issue po na lagi natin na-encounter, kung saan ay makakuha tayo ng solusyon upang kung ano po talaga yung gusto nating mangyari sa ating negosyo. Kung saan ay nagbigay po ang ating Skaparate member na si Nanay Beth, si Miss Enriqueta Navarro, ng ganyan pong testimonies and experience po sa mga past training sessions kung saan naiplat niya po iyon sa kanyang negosyo. Ngayon naman po ay kung paano po tayo naka-join sa ating session, sa ating mga sessions, kung saan naglalagay po kami ng mga announcements sa ating mga GC. At the same time sa ating Skaparate Facebook community. Yung mga magko-confirm na dadalo ay gagawan po natin ng GCs upang maipadala po sa kanila or sa inyo ang Zoom link para sa mas mangyayari po na training sessions. Ngayon po ay aking i-share ang ating Skaparate social media platforms. Gamitin ang ating mga ballpen at papel para maisulat ito. Mamaya po ay aking ibibigay po ang mga links upang inyong ma-like, ma-follow para maging updated po sa mga announcements, reminders, and updates po para sa ating Skaparate. Ito naman po ay ang ating Skaparate website kung saan makita po ninyo dyan yung ating natapos na Valentine's promo. Sa taas po, andyan po yung search bar kung saan pwede po kayong mag-search ng gusto niyo pong products. Ikalawa po ay ang ating Skaparate Facebook page kung saan may 5,000 likes and 5,000 plus followers. Gaya po ng nasabi ko kanina, ito naman po yung ating Skaparate community. Lahat po ng members, at the same time yung mga friends and relatives po ng ating mga Skaparate members ay nandito po. Pwede po tayong mag-post ng ating products at the same time yung ating mga announcements patungkol po sa trainings ng Gabay Academy. YouTube channel ng Skaparate. Nandito po yung mga past training sessions. Dito po natin ina-upload ang ating mga natapos po na trainings. Bisitahin, isubscribe. At kung ano po yung gusto nyo pong balikan, ay nandito po yung lahat sa ating YouTube Skaparate account po. At ang bago po nating channel sa TikTok po, Skaparate Inc., kung saan nandito po yung ating magiging videos patungkol po sa mga featured products na bago pong direksyon ng Skaparate. Sa ngayon po ay hindi ko na po patatagalin. Akin pong ibabalik kay Ma'am Josie Natividad ang floor para po sa ating pagpapakilala ng ating resource speakers ngayong umaga po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Jomar. So ngayon ay papakilala natin ang husband and wife team na magsasalita sa atin. Si Miss Chef Titi. Siya po ay nakilala po natin. Actually, kung natatandaan niyo po, we were in Ortigas Market last November. So isa po sila na nagkaroon po sila ng isang stall doon, kagaya ng Skaparate. Sila po ay nandiyan sa Ortigas Market and at the same time sa Ayala Heights. Dahil yung Ayala Heights, siya po ang nag-imbita sa atin. And we are very, very thankful at nakilala po ang Skaparate doon po sa Ayala Heights. Not only doon sa Ortigas Market na ang mga taong nandoon ay mga, alam niyo naman, maraming BPOs doon, maraming mga yappies, pero dito po sa Ayala Heights andun po yung mga adults. Adults, ibig sabihin yan po yung mga housewives. Tapos pagdating po ng linggo, kasi ano po kami, 3 araw. 2 araw. Yung linggo po, syempre family, after hearing mass, nagpunta po ang mga pamilya doon sa stalls in Ayala Heights at nakita po ang Skaparate doon. Okay. Si Miss Titi is the head chef of CWP Kitchen. She's not a culinary school graduate but has a background in medicine. So ang layo may background in medicine pero nandito siya sa food business. And she has completed her medical training and worked in medical education with National University of Singapore. And then she grew up in Vietnam and Malaysia and has a lot of work in the kitchen doon sa kasama ang kanyang nanay, ang kanyang tatay and grandmothers. Kaya siya natuto dito sa pagluluto. And she has decided to leave her job at dito na lang po sa Pilipinas manirahan para bigyan ng mga Pilipino what a taste of Vietnamese food is. Miss Titi Chin, thank you so much for being here and welcome to Skaparate Gabay Academy. Okay, the next speaker, the next speaker is Mr. Joshua. Actually, si Mr. Joshua is also into food. Siya po yung talagang nag-graduate from culinary arts. Pag narinig po natin culinary, ibig sabihin po nun pagkain. He graduated culinary arts from the College of St. Benilde. Yan po ay isang De La Salle University sister company, if I may say. And he is a professional chef. 10 taon po ang kanyang experience in the industry. And he became one of the chefs in Bread Kitchen and Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. Imagine, nandito po siya, magsasalita po silang dalawa. Mga international ang kanilang experience. And he trained in New York, which is the melting pot of the culinary industry. And he started Ken Huy Pho Vietnamese Kitchen, and he handles the operations of the entire team, and they call him as the ship captain. Siya po ang nag-i-steer para dito sa malaking dagat. And then he builds the name and the brand from scratch. If I may say something, yung Ken Huy Pho, nagkaroon po ng parang cooking lesson in Ayala Heights, si Miss Tiffy. And I was fortunate enough to be there para makita ko po kung paano po siya gumawa ng isa niyang specialty. And of course, hindi naman niya siguro ma-share dito, but probably after this, she can share the ingredients by way of sending me a Viber Tiffy, and I can share it with the micro entrepreneurs here. Thank you so much, the husband and wife team of Miss Tiffy and Mr. Joshua. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Josie, for inviting us here. At first, you seem so down to earth. You know, you are very nice, and we didn't know your profile was so immense. I'm so impressed with what you've done for the community, and we are really, really grateful for everything that you do. That's really, and also the entire Escaparate team.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's start. Let me try sharing our screen. There we go. Yes, sharing. Screen sharing. Small show. Okay, can you see our screen?
Yes po.
Yes, Tiffy.
Okay, very good. Okay, Joshua will start first with the first steps of brand building for us.
Okay. So, hello po, magandang umaga po. First of all, I'll try my best in speaking Tagalog because I'm not used to it yet. Okay, so first thing is, I want to explain what is all about entrepreneurship. This is my understanding of entrepreneurship. Ito po ang pagkaintindi ko sa entrepreneurship. Based on what my background, so you heard from my background is, I work internationally, and because of that, I see bosses how they handle businesses. And one thing I always see with big time bosses is that they communicate with people and they always see themselves as sellers of emotions. So what am I talking about with sellers of emotions? I'll give you an example. Like now, you'll see that when you buy something, there's an emotion that is attached. Let's say I'm hungry. I'm really hungry and I'm craving for this thing. Let's say French fries. And then I'm able to find French fries and I'm happy. Because of that, the emotion attached to that product makes me happy. So I always see that entrepreneurs are sellers of emotions. That's one thing you should see yourself, so that you can understand what are we trying to do here. So now let's go to the PowerPoint. Is first steps to branding. Now branding is all about finding a purpose. That's the first thing. What is your story? What is your purpose? So to create your purpose, layunin, which is layunin sa negosyo nyo, is kailangan niyo po gumawa ng isang storya kung bakit kayo nagsimula. Kung bakit kayo nagsimula tong negosyo na to. Katulad po sa amin ng asawa ko po ay kasi po dinala ko po siya dito sa Pilipinas. Tapos na homesick po siya. Tapos dinala ko siya sa isang sikat na Vietnamese restaurant. At nung kumain kami doon ay siya ay sobrang nalungkot dahil hindi ito yung tamang Vietnamese food or pagkain ng kanyang bansa. Kumbaga parang iba yung lasa, iba yung pagdating sa kanya. Dahil doon, napaisip ako, parang o nga no, maraming mga Vietnamese din nandito, nagtatrabaho. Yun din siguro iniisip nila. Ako din, nung tinikman ko, hindi ako natuwa dahil pumunta ako sa Vietnam at sobrang sarap na sarap yung pagkain. Pero pagdating dito, iba ang lasa, iba ang dating. Kumbaga, isipin nyo na pag pumunta kayo sa ibang bansa, at naghahanap kayo ng sinigang. Pero ang sinigang na bigay sa iyo ay hindi maasim. 'Di ba? So parang hindi to sinigang, hindi to yung sinigang na natikman ko sa sarili kong bansa. Doon ko napaisip na sa asawa ko na magsimula tayo ng sarili nating restaurant na Vietnamese food na ipakita sa mga Pilipino kung ano ang totoong Vietnamese food. So because of that was our story. Yung po ang storya namin. That's because of that we also created our purpose. Our purpose was to show people what is true Vietnamese food. So next, from that purpose, you already created your story. Nagawa niyo na yung story niyo. Now you need to understand what is your purpose now. Okay? Because now to find to the what do you call this? To understand your purpose, you need to find, kailangan hanapin niyo po yung mga customers na gusto ninyong ipahiwatig o ipakita ang inyong mga produkto. Now, I'm not saying that it's the whole world. I always find that you should find a small percentage of people to show your products. Okay, that's the first thing. If you go for a very big amount of people, you'll be disappointed because some people don't like it, some people like it, and you'll feel down. Find this small percentage. It might be 5 people. The 5 people that you think of that you can sell this, that they need this. Okay. So an example is the sari-sari store. Right? It's impossible. Let's say you're a sari-sari store in Barangay Kulyat. It's impossible to go to sell all your stuff in, let's say, in Taguig, because your sari-sari store is in Kulyat. So your customers is around Kulyat. The people who don't want to go to the supermarket, go to buy just one thing, right? Just to go to you. So this is how you understand your purpose. Okay. So now, next thing is the purpose that you are creating, or purpose na ginagawa nyo, is to solve people's problems. Entrepreneurship is also about solving people's problems. For me, my problem was, where can we find the best Vietnamese food, authentic Vietnamese food here in Metro Manila? We couldn't find it. So we decided that was a problem. And then me and my wife created this. And true enough, a lot of Vietnamese and even people who went to Vietnam or people who wanted to go to Vietnam try their food and they say that it's almost exactly like they're in Vietnam. So because of that, we were able to answer a problem in society. So now with that being said, we already answered what is your purpose. Now is your how. Basically is, how does your story help others? Okay, how does it help it? So basically, your product is able to answer the questions that the society needs an answer from. So let's say like what I already said. Okay. So yeah, so that's it. So basically your how is to solve people's people's problems. Okay? Because of that, you have the next one is your who, which is the people that you want to help. So, like I said, it's a small percentage. You don't have to go big. Because why? You will let your customers be the one who create a good image about your branding because they have a good relationship with you. You are able to answer their problems. They will also spread your brand, make the brand better. So this small percentage is very important because it's the one who spreads everything. So yeah.
Okay, so Joshua, just run through with us how you can find your purpose, your story. We would like to hear from you also. Maybe you can share with us on the chat room, over here. So we would like to hear what is your story and how can your story help other people? How can it solve a problem in our community? And your who can you help with this story? Let's take about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, that's fine. 2 minutes to have this done. It's like a mini exercise, just so you can have a thinking process of what you are doing. Because this is the first step, is very, very important. This is like the foundation for you to move forward with your brand. Because your goals can be what do I want to be in 1 year time, in 3 years times, in 5 years time. That's very definite goal. But your purpose is something that will last a long time. It lasts more than that. So when you have your ups and your downs, when you meet your low sales period, what push you going forward is that purpose of yours. So the purpose is very, very important. So let's take 2 minutes to type down some message here. We would both like to hear from you. We would like to see your story. Yeah, let's just take 2 minutes.
Okay, so pwede nyo pong isulat sa chat box dito yung story nyo, your purpose. I'm sure lahat naman kayo, meron kayong purpose, ba't nyo inumpisahan ang inyong negosyo. So pwede nyo pong isulat dito sa chat box, and para mabasa po natin ngayon, after maisulat po, we can read about your purpose. So maybe we can, si Miss Malin. Ayan, si Irene, baka gusto niyang isulat na ang kanyang purpose. Or probably we can open yung audio. Gusto niyo po magsalita na lang kayo, not write it down? Sino po yung gusto magsalita?
Better.
Okay, sige po. Okay, pwede po niyong i-open ang inyong audio and pwede po kayong magsalita. Ikwento niyo lang po sa amin ano po yung purpose ng inyong negosyo at bakit po kayo nagsimula. So, sino yung gusto mag-share? Pwede ba ako maging teacher? At ako'y magtatawag na lang. Okay. How about si Miss Malin? Malin, nandito si Malin. Miss Malin, you can share. Can you share? Miss Malin? So, si
Miss May, ma'am.
si Miss May.
Apo.
Miss May. Ayan. Okay, Miss May, pwede mo pong i-open yung audio mo at yung video para makilala ka po ni Miss Titi at saka ni Mr. Joshua. And iba na rin, bago lang sumali dito.
Good morning, everyone. The purpose, let me see. I just jot down notes kasi.
It's okay.
Why did I create my business? Una sa lahat, after I resigned from a BPO, syempre after you resign, you have to continue with something. You cannot stop. So why did I create my business? There was a need. Kaya lang, anong business yung pipiliin mo? So since I am more inclined with food, I created food. Initially, yung mga pack lunch lang. But suddenly, when I attended a business, yung cupcake, it's a cupcake workshop, I was enticed because of a recipe of a peanut butter cupcake. So that started it all. Suddenly, kumbaga nagustuhan ko na siya mag-baking. So I went into baking. And then, ang na-concentrate ko sa baking because I just did not bake kung ano lang ang pwedeng i-bake. I did not concentrate on cupcakes or brownies or whatever. I concentrated on making custom cakes. So why custom cakes? It's because I wanted to bake something that is adaptable, rather that is tailor fit to the theme of your party. Kasi minsan may mga theme yung mga parties natin eh. So most of the commercial cakes, they're just a number of themes that they bake. There is a what you call that? There is only a couple number of choices that is available for customers to enjoy for their birthday celebrations because the themes are limited. So that is why I concentrated on creating customized cakes, because I will be able to create a cake that is relevant to a specific theme. So the options are endless. So that was the thrust of my business. And that is why I guess the story behind it is because I also want to pay homage to my grandmother, who was the main reason why I love to cook. And that is why the name of my business is Kilina, and that is her name. That's the story of my business.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you for your story. It's actually a very beautiful story. And we see that you have a solution for a problem in our community, right? Which is
Yes.
customized cake, right? Like we have red ribbons that's very standardized. Everybody has that. And then you make something different. And that is
Yes.
a service that you offer, right?
Mhm.
So that's a perfect example of what we were talking about.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And then can you address that?
So someone here named Miss Elizabeth Fernandez, right there. That for her, she wants to make vinegar that is something healthy and unique. This is correct because first of all, I don't see a lot of vinegars that is very unique that much. So that is solving a problem because there's different types of vinegars that can be created in the market. So every time I go to the supermarket or to a store, I always see the apple cider and then the normal vinegar. So something that is organic and unique, can help people in the market that is looking for something that is healthy. They're in the healthy side. That's like for me, I'm looking for it in the terms of the taste, because healthy and unique vinegars has a different taste from the normal vinegar. So that is correct. You are creating a story.
Would anyone else like to share? We will get one last person to share your story before we move on.
I think yung iba sa inyo, I think hindi nyo alam na may story na pala behind yung sa inyong pagnenegosyo. I-share nyo lang, and then si Miss Tiffy and Mr. Joshua, tingnan nyo, inilabas niya kanina kay Malin, ay kay Miss May. Ano ba yung purpose? Ano yung story? Ngayon ko lang rin na-realize yung sa sinabi nilang dalawa, the story and the purpose kay Miss May, at saka pati rin kay Miss Elizabeth. So baka merong gusto mag-share, isulat lang sa chat box kung ano po yung purpose. Baka akala nyo lang hindi purpose eh, pero yun pala, there's a story behind it. I-share nyo lang sa chat box.
Yes.
Baka nahihiya po ba kayo? Or gusto nyo po, isulat nyo na lang po, ma'am, maski habang the training is ongoing. And then siguro Miss Titi and Mr. Joshua, we can go back to the comments after.
Sure.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Uh,
Sige.
So now that you find your purpose, now that you know your story, and this will lead to the next steps, which is now is your time to shout. So there are many approaches, but we cannot be the jack of all trades, right? So we need to what's that boxing guy's name?
Manny Pacquiao.
No, the Chinese guy. There's a saying, it doesn't matter you know how to kick 1,000 different types of kicks. Bruce Lee. It matters that you can master one kick 1,000 times. So choose one approach to grab your audience attentions right from the start, right? That is very important. So how do you do that? How do we do that? Your image. The first one is your image. The customer might not know you as the business owner yet. They don't come to know us personally at the first glance. What do they see first? Our logo. They see first our logo, right? So the logo is very important. How do you want people to see you? So if you take a look at our logo on the left side, this is our logo. So you see that the logo has to be emotional also. You have to give people a reason to care. That's why our title for today is Who Do You Think You Are? Because really, who do we think we are? Why should the customer buy from us, right? How do they know the story? We are not always there to share our story, right? Sometimes we just leave our product somewhere and then we are not there. Sometimes we deliver our cake and we are not there to tell the story. Oh, I want to do this because no, we are not always there with our product. So what represents our story is the way we look on the products, which is our logo. See, so the logo has to be simple, have to tell the story. Let's say this logo, this very simple logo, right, is in white, is in red and yellow. So red and yellow is actually the color of the Vietnamese flag. If you see here the letter O with the star in the middle, this is my flag. This is my country's flag. So I'm here representing my country to the Philippines. And I carry it in my logo. I carried it as my brand image, as a big reminder also to my team that we are representing Vietnam. And it is our duty for our nation to represent it right. Over here, you see the chopsticks. You see the chopstick there, because Vietnamese, we eat a lot of time, we eat with using our chopstick. This is our culture. The 3 strands of noodles represent me, my husband, and my son, connecting us together. This is our story. So, and this one since 1960s, it represents our recipes. Even though I'm a very, very young chef, I'm very young, many people don't know or don't trust that I can cook the things that I cook. So I always tell them that even though I look young, but I started cooking since I was 5. So since 1960, this is my grandmother's time already. She started selling food, and then this recipes has been inherited since this year. It has been a long time, and us as a inheritance of the recipes have the responsibility to make it better also. So, hey, Daddy, can you help Jarek? Okay. So this is our logo. If you're in the food business, you would know that, okay, McDonald's, the color theme of McDonald's is red and yellow. The color theme of KFC is red and white. The color theme of Jollibee is red, right? So the warm side of the color will be better for food business. Why? Because it psychologically, it makes people want to eat. And I chose the color, the logo to be round is also for the same reason, because your plates are round, your bowls are round. So most of the time, this one, personally, I didn't create this logo. We hired a professional graphic designer to do this, and so we learn a lot also, like when he represent us with the few different prototypes of the logo, we were the one to pick which one tells our story the best. So this is it. And then one thing also for the logo to shine really, why is the logo so important for branding, is because you see, when you see a tick, immediately in your head, you know that's Nike. You see the 3 lines, immediately in your head, you know, okay, that's Adidas. You see an apple with a bike, you know that is MacBook, right? So the logo doesn't even have to carry your brand name, but subconsciously you already know. That's how big branding can become in the long run. Of course, now we are small, we start small, but we have to start doing it right, doing the right thing from the start, okay? So that people can recognize your brand faster and immediately when you, so like for us, we can't just erase the Can We Pho and we can't just put the chopstick with 3 noodles, right? Because we are still small and people doesn't know, oh, what is this? What's these lines doing there? So in the long run, we might remove these wordings. When we become big already, we might remove these wordings and make the lines bigger, so that is the time when people already know who we are. So now people doesn't know yet, we have to give a little bit of insight, we have to give a little bit of information in there. But later on, we will have to remove this. And so the graphic designer, we have to tell them that this is for long-term investment. So the logo has to be able to remove all these words. A good logo is a logo where you can draw it with your hands. So let's say Nike, right? I can just draw it like that on my piece of paper. Adidas, same things. A lot of FedEx, you can draw it with your own hands. You don't have to, a logo doesn't have to be very complicated. It doesn't have the whole lechon inside in order for the people to know that you are selling lechon, right? So it's very important, the logo has to be, because the logo, it follows your products. Everywhere your products go, the logo will follow. So that is also one of the thing to brand yourself. And the logo must coincide with also your target market. That means this logo, is it for high-end customers or for middle income or for the masses? So where your products go, the logo have to follow. The logo design, you cannot have a very extravagant design for a product like for us, right? We are catering for the middle to lower income family. So our logo cannot be so extravagant. So we have to be close to our customer. Our logo have to go together with the customers also. So it's very important. Take your time. I really, really encourage everyone to take your time and build your logo. So let's say if you are in photography or you're in arts, your products might be something earthly. So if let's say you're selling something organic, maybe go with the color theme of brown and green. And then if it's all psychological, because your logo have to tell your story, right? So you are not there. Always remember, you are not always together with your products. You are not your products. You have to be separate from your products. Logo, follow your products. So take your time out and design a logo. If you don't mind, sorry, if you don't mind, you can turn on your camera and show us your logo when you have time, or if your logo is just around the corner. Yeah, you may do that. So that is your image. Do you have any question for now? Let me see. Let's see. Farmers. Can you translate?
The logo of Malin Rubrico, Tiffy and
Oh.
Joshua. Yes,
Yes,
actually, Miss Malin supplied scaparate for us to sell mushroom chicharon, and then she
Oh.
also, yes, she's also selling the banana shoestring, just like the picnic. So
Mhm.
that's her brand.
Which one po is your logo, the Haifa or the Pucci? Or it's just like a prototype. You haven't decided yet. Haifa is is
Haifa is
for.
for mushroom. I think she has two brands. Because the Pucci is for
Oh.
the Pucci is for the banana shoestring. So
Oh,
would
okay.
I do? What's your take on this, Miss Titi and Sir Joshua?
I think the mushroom is really perfect. We really like it because it has a mushroom there in the middle. And this is one example of a good logo because people can actually draw it. I can draw it right now with my hands, with my paper and pen, which is very good. The Pucci, however, I'm not quite sure. I thought I didn't realize it was for shoestrings. Yeah, maybe we can talk some more about that. And yeah, we can get help from, because I'm also not professional graphic designer. Whatever I was sharing is from a very big time graphic designer in Singapore, who happened to be my cousins. So he was sharing with me all the needs of a logo. So when he accept a client and design a logo, this is the thing that he wants to know. Bananas cassava.
Is it
Potato
is
sushi.
it okay to have two brands? Because she has a company, but she has mushroom chicharon and banana shoestring. But is it? I mean, is it logical for her to have two brands because there are two different products?
It's up to if she can manage.
It's okay for me. It's okay to have two brands if the person can manage both brands as a separate entity. So I always advise, if you wanna have two brands, make sure that you can able to manage both with the same value. Because maybe sometimes like Haifa is like having more views, or the people are knowing more about Haifa. Then you're already forgetting about Pucci. So you're already exerting your effort to Haifa, because this is the one that's having more income, more noise, more awareness compared to Pucci. So I always suggest that once, if you're starting, to always have one brand to have all the products, so that people understand more. Oh, this person is selling this kind of things. Yeah, because
But if the products are really vastly different,
yeah,
then it makes more sense to have two different brands. But it's up to you, Paul, if you can manage both.
because we used to have two brands. Um, Before, our first business was about selling Asahi, which is basically a Brazilian fruit. And then my wife started Ken before, so we had two brands, and we were trying to manage them both. We were having a hard time because Asahi was a different market, then Ken before was a different market. So we were getting confused how to handle these two brands. And then at one point, Ken before was giving us more attention because it was giving us more income, more awareness around. Then Asahi was being neglected that much. So because of that, to the point that we neglected Asahi so much that it failed. So because of that, we learned our lesson that we shouldn't handle two brands. But at that time, it makes sense because Asahi was a brand of about healthy stuff, about food that is healthy, like the fruit from Asahi, which we were promoting about. It helps you with your your natural health, overall health. While we have Kenmi Pho, which is the food. So it was clashing because people would see that how people who are vegetarians will see that we are selling Kenmi Pho, and it affected Asahi as well, which is our first brand. And because of that, we closed it down and focused this on Kenmi Pho. So that is my on take.
Okay. I hope, Malin, nakakuha ka. You got some insights
Yeah.
from Joshua and TT. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you po, sabi
Good
niya.
luck.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you as well. Good luck on. I hope both your business will thrive on.
Okay. So thank you for sharing. Next is now that your logo, your image is out there already, the next thing that we have to take care of is your persona. So this is me as who I am. You are looking at me as who I am, and this is the real person. This is the real TT Chin. But when I'm selling, I have another persona. So it's up to you. This persona will be the same one that you will use for your social media pages where people cannot see you. And this is the voice of your brand. This is a voice. This is your brand representative. When people message you on Facebook, this is the person who will talk to that. It's not you. So I'm separated from my brand. This is who I am. I have a persona when I sell in the markets. I have a brand representative to respond to the inquiries on Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else, right? So what is the persona? So let's say for me, in Vietnam, it is very common that you go to Vietnam, you eat at a place, you have to be psychologically traumatized by the seller. So I bring that persona here. So in the Palenque, when people in Sitcor or in Ortigas Market or in Legazpi, sometimes people come in and annoy me on purpose, right? So that I will shout at them, right? So for an example, people will ask, hey, how come your soup is so expensive? Then I said, oh, if it's expensive, you feel free to go outside and buy other soup. Doesn't matter, you don't have to line up here. Why line up when my food is not good? Why my price is so expensive? So that is my persona. So I'm very, very straightforward. I'm very masongit. That is my persona that I have for my brand. And people like that. For me, it worked for my brand. It worked for my brand because that's part of our culture that I bring it here. It might not work for your brand. So you have to really find what kind of persona do you want to have. Like some let's say for Stanley Chi, our stand-up comedian, right? He's selling his brand is comedy, and his comedy is very playful. So he has a persona for that brand as well. Somebody else selling something else will have another persona. Like if I sell baby food or I sell homeschooling materials, I must have a persona like a teacher, right? So you have to pick what is your voice. Now that your image is there, what is your voice? So people come to our store knowing that they might get scared away, but they still line up buying food, right? So there are some youngsters who come already and they just come to us to annoy me, and then they buying our products as a byproducts, right? So I earn from having a persona on stage, like I'm on stage and I'm performing, because selling is all about showmanship, right? You have to show what you have. So people come to me, like let's say I have a group of teenagers that come and like they take like about 30 seconds to order a bread, and so I'm like I will scold them because that's what they want to see. That's what they want to see. That's what they want to hear. It's very interesting to them. So I say, oh, what's taking you so long? You buy McDonald's 165 one Big Mac, you don't complain. You come here to me, everything organic, 120 pesos, you want to think so long. Go to McDonald's. Go to McDonald's. So yeah, that's my persona, right? So you get what I'm trying to say. But this is the true person. This is who I am. I'm respectful. I'm very nice. I will share everything that I know, but you know, I have to be separated from my business. My voice has to be different. So on social media, when customer message us, I have two voices on social media. So if the customer already know, like Also take your time knowing your customer by their name, by their face, by how many times they have ordered from you. We have a logbook, write down all our regular customers. So when they message us online, if they are new customers, we will be very nice. There will be a brand representative who answer those new customers. We will flag these customers as new. Okay, so these are the very nice voices, right? And then we have a logbook for regular customers, and they already know who I am. I will be the one personally respond to these messages, right? Gets okay. So that is having a persona. You have to really give your voice, give your thoughts on how you look, give your voice. Also think about, okay, how do I want to sell these products? Are you gonna be like the taho, like you want to be like that? You can. If it works for you, yes. Or you want to be the silent seller where you just stay back and you let your customers give your customers space and time to decide whether or not they need your products, right? So it depends on your culture, depends on your products that you voice it out. You find a suitable voice for each product, right? Right? Do you get what I mean? And then how you want people to know you also is part of it. Is part of it. How do you want people to know you? Through this persona or through your real personality or what? So you have a connections. Doing business is not just about selling a product. It's building relationship. It's always networking. So the people who buy your products, like in this book that we read, this is marketing. It's a very good book about branding and marketing. So this person might seem that she or he is actually not from your target audience. His income bracket is actually outside, fall below your income bracket of customers. But suddenly he come now and he buy your products, right? And then this person will go outside. Will go outside and buy, and then buy your products, and then we'll bring your logo outside, and other people will see, oh, I sell a bundle of bread and I stick my logo on the packaging. He will bring this out and he will showcase to other people, and he will start talking, right? He will start talking. Oh, this person, oh, this, I met this chef on over there and she's like that. Or I met her husband, I met Joshua there, and he's like this. Like, there's a story to tell it. So that you have to always be very involved, especially when you are starting it out. Please be very, very involved. Know your customer by their name, by what they order, whether or not they like spicy, whether or not they like carrots, whether or not they like, you have to note it down. Make an effort talaga to really know your customers. And through these people, they will share because they know that you care. In this time and age where social media, everybody care about themselves. We always take a selfie. We always take photo of ourselves. We upload. We lack the connection. We really lack the connections. So through your business, you build that connection, and people are craving for that. People are craving that connection. So always talk to people. Always know people. And it's true enough. Once again, who do you think you are? Wait, Jerry, wait lang. So, it's true. It's really true. Who do you think you are? Who do I think I am? Right? Why should people buy this product from me? Yeah. So sometimes you really, when I see a customer from afar that has bought from me before, who had bought from me before, I will really go there and say, hello, Paul, good morning. I don't expect them to buy anything from us. Just go there, say hi to them and greet them. Have a good day. Have a good day. How are you today? Like, really be genuine about it and care. So this is the persona that will be attached to your brand already. People will come to know you and people will trust you already, because most of us here are from food business. Am I right? Yeah. So how would I know your food is good if I have not tasted it before? I will not trust the seller, of course, because you are selling your food. Of course, you say your food is good, but I will trust the people who have bought it. So the people who have bought it will share it to their friends, and their friends will trust them. So treat every customer as a very special person that you will take care of, and then they will come to you. So that is how you represent yourself outside. And then, do you have any questions at this point? Sorry, I talked too much. Do you have any questions, Paul?
None po.
Okay. So now next is this one is Bazaar and this one is your social media. So Joshua will continue the flow.
So just a bit going back to what my wife said, having a persona. So when we had this problem, we had to have someone to represent the company, the face. And my wife is not really happy and jolly what you see right now. This is because of experience of talking to customers. She's a very shy person when we were starting this out. And I told her it's impossible for me to show my face to the customers because I'm a bearded guy selling Vietnamese food. It doesn't connect. That's why I said you should be the one representing the company, the face. First of all, it connects. You're Vietnamese. You show the Vietnamese warmth, the culture, and everything. So everything connects. And then the way you talk to people. At that time, she doesn't know that the way she talks to people is very interesting. That's why I said the way you talk to people, it really makes them feel like they're very special. So I told her you should be the face. Okay. And one thing I always tell to my staff that when talking to as a sales staff is that treat every customer like ikaw yung nangliligaw. Like you're the one, the person who wants to get the customers sweet yes. Like when the guy, right, wants to ask, will you be my girlfriend? And then they say yes. See, but how did the guy let the girl say yes? By connecting to the person, saying, oh, this, like that, talking about let's say a young, very old woman come in, like, hi Lola, how are you? How many grandchild do you have? Because of that, it's connecting. It's not because of the product. Now, sir, our product is nice, like this, like that. No. At the first approach, I always say that, talk about their personal life, because especially senior citizens or people who are at the elderly, not a lot of people are talking to them, especially young people. No, it's very nice for an old person when a young person asks about their personal life, how they're going through, because it connects in a personal level. So this is what is about having a persona and how do you want the people to know you. So as an old elderly person, like, oh, this lady who I saw at the market talked to me about my grandchild, or maybe an elderly person who senior citizen mother grandchild that lost her son, and you talk, and it makes them feel like you care about them. And because of that, they get interested on what are you selling, like that. And because of that, you are creating now connection. So now, sorry about that. Now we're talking about know your platforms. Okay. So we have different things here. All right. So my wife first will explain the traditional approach and modern approach of knowing your platforms.
Okay, so now that you have your logo, okay, you have your purpose already, right? You know already how your purpose can help people. You already know who you can help. Now you have your image, you have your logo, you have your voice, you have your persona. So now where you're going to present yourself, that is your platforms, right? So coming to the platforms, we have two different types of platforms. We have the traditional platforms and we have the modern platforms, right? So the traditional platforms, meaning to say, we go to a lot of bazaars, palengke. We sell face to face, like before, like old time, traditional, right? So, and then we have a modern approach, which is your selling a service or products online, which is using your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, through influencers, like all this, all this approach, right? So how do you choose your platform will be depending on your products. If you're in food business like us, the best approach talaga is traditional approach, right? Because people really have to eat your food to know that it's good or it's not good. It doesn't matter how many thousands you spend on having a nice photo shoot for your products. People cannot taste it, they will not buy it, right? Yeah, the taste, the smell, the textures, because I always say in many of our cooking demo, our cooking live show, people eat with what? People eat with all 5 senses, right? This is for food business only for so people eat with 5 senses. First, they eat with their eyes. The food have to represent, they have to have a good presentation. So they eat with the eyes first, then with the smell, with the sense of smell. Oh, they have to smell it. That's why we go to the palenque, especially when our soup is cooked with nice spices inside. So usually when the customer is approaching and I see that this customer, it fall inside the income bracket that I'm going to sell, I open the soup pot and then the steam come out and then they smell it and then they will get attracted. So the presentation of your store, your products, then the smell of your food. Then after that, they will buy it. So they will taste it. And then the texture of it, the feeling of opening the wrapper, the feeling of holding onto the bun, the feeling of dipping your food, eating. Filipinos would know this. Eating with your hands is the best eating experience, right? Because you incorporate another feeling, another sense, right? And then hearing also, hearing. I always tell my customer the food always tastes better when you are in Vietnam. Why? Because your experience is whole. Over here, I only can provide what 80% of the experience. The other 20% is when you have to go to Vietnam, you hear my language, you use my Vietnam dong, you hear the motorcycle, you hear the Hong Kong, you hear people talking. The experience is whole. The food will always taste yummier in the country where you want it to be, right? So for food businesses, we really recommend the traditional approach so that people will feel all of this. Because it's impossible to share what it tastes like on social media. It's a very long and lengthy and tedious process for food business owners to really be out there because we have many things to set up. I know some, like let's say you're selling cake and the cake has to be at a certain temperature and but we will find a way. We'll find it. Like if you want to do it, you will really find a way. If you don't want to do it, you will find excuses. That's our philosophy, right? So we recommend it, but if you can still sell it online, that's good. Because usually let's say for cake, what is very important about the cake, customized cakes, is the presentation of the cake. It must look good. So it's very easy to do this on social media, right? Because your cake is already beautiful as is, right? You're selling this presentation, you're selling this unique looking cake. So these are the kind of things that the taste will come. The taste will come later as the presentation. So this kind of food you can actually promote both ways, both traditional and modern approach. Traditional approach is also meaning words of mouth. So as I said before, people will not trust you as a seller. People will trust their friends who have bought from you. So make sure that when you present it to every single one, it's at your 100%. Your food is at a tip-top condition all the time. Same with if you're a service provider, if one of you here is a person who sell mugs, right? Make sure that your mugs is always beautiful. There's no chip on it. When you take a photo, you bring yourself out there also. Do the traditional approach so that people can see it in real life, because people like that. They want to see things in real life. I want to know what I'm paying for, right? So can you continue?
Yeah. So the second one is the modern approach. So basically, this is all about social media, Facebook, Instagram, everything. So as a food vendor, it's very hard to show people how good is your product in social media, because first of all, they cannot smell, they can't taste it, they can't hear it, the crunch, like if it's something chips, they can't hear the crunch in their mouth. So one thing we can do is show them how we make the food. Like instance in our social media, if you can see that sometimes there's post there that we show them how we make that our meatball and our pho and our soup is handmade, and we show the process of how we make it, and it gives the idea to the customers that wow, this thing is really handmade. It makes me curious. So that's the only thing we need to do in social media. We need to make our followers or our customers curious about our products. There are different ways. That's only one way. Showing that our meatball is handmade, this is how we do it. Or one thing is our product is 100% from Vietnam. Like ingredients are from Vietnam. It's authentic, and it gives them curious. So this is authentic Vietnamese food. Makes me want to try. So that's what you need to do. In traditional approach is all about introducing. Like this is how it's very easy because people can smell it. You're trying to attract the five senses. In modern approach, you're trying to tickle the curiosity of the person. That's what social media is all about. You're curious. Like an example is maybe the trending now is I think Coco Martin's Batang Quiapo. What's the latest episode? Because my friend told me about this story. I'm curious. So then you watch it. See, that's what social media. That's what your strategy is about. What can I do to make my followers curious, or people who wants to follow me curious about my product? So yeah, that's how modern approach is all about. So then I think we should move on now on chapter 3.
Okay, this is
Oh, do they have questions? I think they have questions. Maybe they have questions.
Do you have any questions yet? Hi. Move on, okay? Because now that there's a step by steps already, so let's break it down again. Let's break it down. Now you have your purpose. You have how can your purpose solve a problem in our society. Then the people you will help. This is your target income bracket. Then you move on to all these details already. You move on to create your image, your logo. Yeah. Sorry, I have a little bit of cough today. Now you have your logo, you have your voice, you have your persona. And then now you already have the platform where you will showcase all of this, right? So now, next is very, very important. Now that you have your brand with you, how do you maintain this brand? Okay, how do you not let this brand go down the drain? Right? This is the tough part. Actually, losing weight is not so tough as maintaining your weight. Everyone on the weight loss journey would understand what I mean, right? The weight loss journey is not that hard. Maintaining your weight after the weight loss journey is harder than losing the weight, right? So same thing. Now, to shout your brand is very, very easy. To maintaining the brand name is harder. And this will take a lot of grit. This takes a lot of determination. This takes a lot of emotions, and your emotional health, your spiritual health, everything the stress is in here.
Yeah.
The most stressful part is actually maintaining the brand, right? Because to be honest, starting a logo, to draw up a logo, to decide what kind of persona you have, and everything is gonna take like about a week or 2 weeks max, right? and bring out your items to sell in the bazaar or on social media. It's just snapping photos and you know, bringing yourself out there is actually easy. But maintaining the brand is for years to come, right? We count this as years, not weeks or months anymore. So this is the strangest part of branding. So like, can can we first started in 2020 or late 2019? Until now, we managed to maintain the brand for 4 years, growing from a team of just husband and wife. We were doing everything with a small baby. Now that is a big baby already. And so down from just then until now, right? So he was with us when he was a baby. He was breastfeeding in my arm. So from a team of just the 3 of us, the 3 strands of noodles that you see on the logo, now we are a team of 7+ people, and bringing our brand from 5 neighbors, 5 customers. We started with just 5. Now we have a customer database of regular customer of over 300 and more. So how do we do that? How do we maintain this brand? So Joshua will share more because he is the one that is really behind the scene doing all this maintenance and operation. Yeah, so
Maintenance is one of the key aspects of branding, because if you don't maintain your brand or keep your brand being aware by people will forget you. So I'll give you an example, like who people in the 90s, do you still remember Cindy's? For me, I haven't seen Cindy's for a long time until one of my friends posted a photo of Cindy's, the restaurant, and it gives me memories. And then because of that, it makes me think, oh, no, like you need to make sure that people always see your brand, so that people are always aware in their mind. So how do we make sure that people always see your brand? First thing is, your products need to have the logo everywhere. So no matter what product it is, it should always have the logo. Why? I'll give you an example. Is maybe I'll buy like the cassava chips, and it has your logo. I leave it in my pantry in our dining table, and I always see that logo. And it reminds me, oh, this is where I bought the cassava chips. That was so nice. So I will look for that person. Or maybe let's say I have a gathering, and then I offer this cassava chips, and the person, I'm the guest, saw that logo. Oh, this is very good cassava chips. Where did you buy it? Oh, this is the person that where I bought it from. So this is like people are seeing your logo all everywhere. So let's say a person bought your product and is holding it while eating, going around the mall, and people are seeing and getting curious. Well, what is that thing that they're eating? What's the brand? They see it. So that's why it's important that you should put the logo everywhere in your products. No matter what product it is, it should always have the logo.
Even your sari store, let's say you should have maybe a very unique sandal bag. Like recently, Robinson Easy Mart just opened near our place, and we both didn't know about it until we saw a neighbor carrying a sandal bag that have Robinson words on it, and then we were like, oh, they moved here. Oh, there's where is it? Where is it? So we were curious to find out. So same with our staff, when they get things from the sari store, they will share with each other. Oh, the sari store with the blue, that one, the one with the blue sandal bag, that one have a very good So even when you start small, but be unique, try to be unique, try to have something that you have that nobody else has, right? So that people can recognize you right away from the start. So this sari store near our place, they have blue sandal bag that they hang outside their store, so that people know that, oh, that sari store with the blue sandal bag, they have gata there, they have gata there, right? So try to be unique, try to sell something that nobody else are selling.
And I also want to add that be consistent is also about because there's a study based on psychologists in terms of branding. People start to get curious about the brand when they see it 7 times, a minimum of 7 times. So how many times, like when we see a new brand, we don't care about it. But if that's the second time we don't see, but around the 7th or 9th time we keep on seeing it, we start to get curious. What is this? What is this brand? Why are we keep seeing it? So it's important that you put your brand everywhere because people, maybe they see it for the first time on that day, but on the second day, they see it again. And maybe on the 12th day, that's the 7th day, they saw it again. They get curious, like, what is this? How come I keep on seeing this brand? So, like I said, curiosity is very important in branding. And second is about being consistent. Is your product should always be 100% standard. Okay, always top notch. How many times do we see that we buy our favorite product, like say chicharon, you know, or that when I first tasted it, it was so nice. But again, after a few months, I go back, taste the chicharon, it's too salty now, or it's not crunchy. The product should always stay the same because that's being consistent as well with your brand. So
So
Yeah.
because like in this industry or in any industry, right? It doesn't matter how many times this customer buy from you before and how many times that you serve them very good, very quality products. You only need one time that you mess it up, customer will not come back to you anymore, right? So even us as customers, right? We are very, very difficult customers, right? When we go somewhere, we eat at that place 3 times, they serve very, very good food. There's only one time that the food is a bit saltier, we don't come back anymore. Who here is like that? Actually, I think most of us are like that, huh? So as customers, we are very picky, we are very difficult. So also expect our customers to be very difficult with us. That's why always, if you have a team of 1, of 2, or of 3, even 10, make sure everybody on your team know that the importance of standard in the kitchen, in making a product, in making a mugs, in handling the products. Like let's say you are selling mugs, right? The way you handle the products, how many layers of bubble wrap you're gonna wrap for the customer to be easy to open it, or so that yet the mug will not be broken in transport, right? And if you're if you're selling cake, how are you going to present this to the cake? How are you going to deliver this cake so that it will not shake in transport, right? So, and the taste and everything. So are you willing to, let's say if you have a batch of very, very bad, let's say that the must, like, you cannot expect our products to be 100% all the time. Yes, it's true. But are you willing to give up a batch of product that is bad to keep your brand going, right? So like for us, right, we would rather sacrifice 4 kilos of bad beef and tell our customer that we do not have any to sell today. I am sorry. Or you would rather sell this 4 kilos of beef to the customer, even though you know that it's sub quality, right? So it's your choice because it's your brand, and how your reputation is with the brand is very, very important. Are you be willing to sacrifice this amount of money to protect your brand? Because you let go, in Vietnamese, we have this saying, you let go of a shrimp so that you can catch a lobster, right? You let go of a small shrimp, you sacrifice this batch of products that you know is bad, but then instead, what is your return? Your return is your long-term customers that will trust you. They know that you will not sell substandard products, right? To protect your brand and to bring your brand a long way. Okay, so that is being consistent. You have to let your customers see the logo everywhere, and your standards have to be 100% at all time, no excuses made. Okay, like if you own a sari store, make sure you're always stocked up with your products, because if one time I go there and I don't see gata anymore, I will not risk my trip going there again. When I need gata, I will see in my head, oh, baka they don't have it there, so might as well I go to the grocery store na lang, diba? So make sure you always stock up your products. Make sure you always have it readily available if you sell non-food.
So at the end of the day, consistency is all about experience of the customer. And experience is always two things. It can be your product and your service. Together, it equals the experience of the customer. So it may be like you're selling service. So it might be service, your service equals to the experience of the customer. So at the end of the day, it's always about how is the customer experiencing you as an entrepreneur. And it will also, that's how it maintaining the brand.
Okay.
So now, we will explain now the next
And
one.
to maintain the brand for years to come, you have to also expect growth. And growth is what? Growth is comfortable or not comfortable? Growth is very uncomfortable. All right. So it's like, imagine you're like a butterfly in the cocoon, and before the butterfly can break free, the cocoon is becoming tighter and tighter and tighter, right? Also the snakes, before they can become bigger, they have to break out of their own skins, right? The crab, the lobster, to become a bigger lobster, they have to break out of this hard shell. So same with us, right? Growth mentally is very, very uncomfortable. And you must be able to endure this uncomfortableness in order for your brand to grow. So for an example, what is, can you give an example of uncomfortable growth in our company?
One experience that growth has had we experienced is, first thing is finding a better place to operate our kitchen.
Mhm.
Because when we started, it was during the pandemic, so we were forced to go to my family's house because we were living in a condo. So we were forced to go to my family's house in my mother's kitchen, which is very small. So, and as time progresses, we found out that people are ordering more and more. And then the kitchen was too small to operate that. And then we have to decide to find the best thing, best option to do is to find a house that has a big kitchen, or stay at my mother's house, which is quite a headache for my mother, because people are coming in and out. That's privacy for her.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I was scared to go out because
Money, finance.
the money and everything, because and there's COVID, so we were really scared. But the thing is, decide that this is part of growth. My priority is for our company to grow bigger, because my plan is to be one of the when people here in the Philippines, when people say Vietnamese food, authentic Vietnamese food, they think of CWP. So this is part of growth. So we decided at 2021 to find a house where we can rent that, and my team can go in without disturbing my mother, and then without able to control more of everything. I know it will be scary because, first of all, it's like going out to the world after being quarantined for so long, So that was the first step, and we were glad that we took this first step. And now staff are becoming happier because it's not too tight. There's a bigger kitchen. They can breathe more. They can focus more, and even us, we can even to focus more because we only had a small kitchen, and I had my room and my son. Now we have a bigger house and a bigger kitchen, so we can focus more on other things like branding and marketing, while our staff is doing all the products.
maintain the part of to maintain the brand is also to learn how to embrace changes, because your brand will always be with you. The brand is always there. People already people will know of your brand, but people will not know of the hardship that you go through. So expect all the changes that you will have to go through, the change in personnel. That means your most trusted staff decided to leave. Or let's say us as husband and wife, we cannot guarantee the future, right? One day I might be struck by lightning and I die, right? And he has to run it by himself. So no, I'm just giving an example, right? So the expect changes. Changes is inevitable, right? You might think that, oh, this staff has been with me for so long, and why are they leaving, right? So don't mind so much on that, right? Change is inevitable in personnel. If anything, change will promise something better to come, right? So expect that change in your personnel, change in your company structure. That means at first, let's say at first, Joshua was handling operation, marketing, and HR, human resources, and also finances. And I was only cooking. I focused on cooking. So later on, when Joshua said, okay, I need help with the finances, so I took over the finance. So Joshua has less things to worry about, but he can focus more. And now that my team are up to par already, so they can handle more of my cooking, and I will just watch them. I can handle a bit of the finance of the company. So there will be changes in your company structure of who will do what, all right? And also change of venues, right? So you might be starting this out in your home kitchen. You might start this out in your backyard, in your warehouse, in your everywhere, in your garage. Expect that there will be a change in venues. Expect that one day you will have to move the entire operation somewhere else, right? So expect changes, because to maintain the brand, you have to go through all of this. In order for your brand to become bigger, to travel further, you have to expect all this, right? And also expect change in your business model. So one day, for us not yet, but one day if you want someone to franchise your company, right? You want another person to come and invest, expect the change in the business structure. But make sure before you do this, make sure don't let the shark eat you. Make sure you are also a big fish already, so that you can go hand in hand with the sharks, right? When you invite investors to come in and invest in your company, make sure that you're on par with them. Make sure that they will not swallow you whole. All right. So maintaining the brand, make sure your brand is there. Don't let people take over your brand. So a lot of times that we see, we cannot name it here, but maybe it's not very nice, but have you come across restaurants now before they become a franchise, they were very yummy. But the moment franchise come over and take over the brand, the taste is not the same anymore. How many restaurants that you see are like that? Okay, don't be one of those. Okay, don't let people who have money dictate you what you can do and what you cannot do with your own brand. So it's very, very important that you know where you stand. Then it brings you back to the purpose now.
Yes.
It brings you back to the purpose. When money come in, when the people offer you the money, you have to bring back to your purpose. Or why did I start this in the first place? Is this going alongside with my purpose, right? So that is the change that we are expecting. And the last part now, Joshua will do this last part to close our branding talk, right? So the last part is to welcome challenges.
So as you are growing, your business, your brand is growing. There will be more challenges ahead. It's not all about, oh, I already made it. Challenges means that you are growing. So if you're not being challenged, there's no growth happening. There's no change happening. So every time as you want to go further and further, challenges will be right in your face. And this is good because why? First of all, it helps you to develop your brand. It helps you develop yourself as an entrepreneur. It helps also your staff, or if ever you're going to have staff, it also helps them see how you handle challenges and they learn from you.
Mhm.
This is more of a mentorship.
Yeah.
So every time when you see problems happening in your brand or in your company, do not despair that, oh my God, why there's always problems. You should be happy. Yes, I have more problems. It
yeah.
means I'm growing. My brain is growing. I'm able to solve more problems. It shows your character as a person that these challenges I accept it. So like what my wife said, right, with Bruce Lee, like the quote, I will re-quote it again. Like he's not as a we, my wife and I met through MMA, boxing and everything. So we're into martial arts. So I really believe what Bruce Lee said, that he doesn't fear a person with 1,000 style of kicks. He fears a person who practiced one kick 1,000 times because he accepts challenges. You know, no matter how hard it is to kick, already that his right, like the leg is already numb, he's still kicking. Means he wants to be better in kicking. Us with also 1,000 challenges are coming towards us. It means that that my business is growing. I'm as a person is growing. My company is growing. So I accept this challenge and I want to be better. So I will try to solve it.
Yes. So when you see problems coming into your business, or suddenly, oh, I need to get this permit, pala. I need to get this. I need to register BIR. I need to pay this fine. All these problems is actually good for you. So when problems come, don't be discouraged. Don't give up, because problem is good. Problems mean we are growing, right? So when, okay, let's say, oh, BIR is coming at me. So I know that, oh, okay, I didn't do that step. So now I have to find a solution. How can I pay BIR so that I can be clean and I can bring, now that I'm certified on BIR, I can even shout louder my brand, right? So it's actually not a bad problem. It's a good problem to have, right? Or customer is not satisfied and they told you about it. Oh, that's actually a very good problem, because they care to tell you that, oh, this is not what I expected. I expected more from you. And so this is a good problem, because they would only tell you if they want to come back to you, if they want to see you improve, right? So all problems are actually good problems. It's up to you now whether or not you have the resilience, the discipline to tackle all these problems so that your brand will travel further and longer and bigger. And I hope everybody learned something today. If you have any questions, you can ask now. I'm sorry, it takes longer than expected. Hello, po. You can.
Hi, Titi. I think there's a comment from Malin. Actually, this is about the purpose earlier.
Oh,
So yeah, that's
okay. Yeah.
from her, I actually create this business para masolusyonan yung mga farmers na hindi nakakabenta ng kanilang fresh harvest, like fresh
Yes.
mushroom and señorita bananas, which you know, they become rotten after 2 days. With that, parang pinag-aralan, she learned about the business and how to sell the healthy snacks, so that she'll be able to help the farmers also.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one. That's the story. She's helping the farmers, of course, by making products out of the harvest. And these are the healthy snacks, the mushroom chicharron and the banana shoestring.
You see, like this kind of story, you have a very, very meaningful purpose behind it.
Yeah.
But this is, I can guarantee this work is so much of hard work, talaga, because you have to collect it from the farmers, and then you have to create something with this because you want to help. So you don't mind going through all this hardship, and we really salute you for this. And I hope that with this purpose, it will bring you a long, long way, ma'am, because this is a very, very meaningful things to do, right? You are helping others people at the same time. You are making some profit for them and for yourself as well. Because let's be honest here, like we are all running a business to look at the money. It should not be the main focus of our money should never be our purpose. All right, but money is actually the fuel for us to run our purpose longer. So in running a business is always about how do I generate the profit enough to run my brand long time. Right. Thank you also for
Okay.
it's a very meaningful story, and I hope that you keep this story with you a long time.
Okay,
Anyone else, Paul?
any more comments or
How do you encourage your staff to be your brand ambassadors, keeping them involved to help maintain your brand? Okay.
You want to answer this or?
Well, let's answer it together. Okay.
Okay.
We cannot expect our staff to feel for our business because they are staff. They are salaried people, right? The moment you pay them, they don't own your business, so you don't expect that much from them. But you can motivate them by making them a part of your business, right? So the key point is they don't own this business. Why? I don't own this business. Why should I? Why, right? So give them that why. Do you want to share how we did this?
Yeah. So it's true. Like this is very hard. Staff to be your brand ambassadors to tell you how your brand is. First of all, you cannot really give the responsibility to your staff. It is still your responsibility. One thing that you can do, that we do, is to give them knowledge on what is the brand is. I mean, to what are the products are, how we make the products. So basically, all of our recipes, we show it to them. This is how you make meatballs. This is how you do it. This is how you make fresh achara. This is how you make the banh mi. It gives them knowledge, confidence in telling how to talk to customers. Because how many times, like when we go to stores or like markets, when I ask something, oh, what's inside this spaghetti? Then the staff be like, oh, it's tomato sauce. Wait now, I call. See, it means that the person is not confident enough to tell. So this is what one thing you can do is to give them confidence to talk to customers. That when they ask questions or like, is this chicharon made? Is this mushroom chicharon? What kind of mushroom it is? Right? So
also, like for us, right, we make it a point to bring our staff to a Vietnamese restaurant, any Vietnamese restaurant. We'll bring them there and we will let them taste everything on that menu, and then let them taste our menu, right? Because they already taste our menu, so we let them go outside and taste other restaurants' recipes, right? And then now it will build their confidence already. They know the difference. Okay, this restaurant and our restaurant, different standard. So they know already. Now they build confidence also. So maybe you can show your staff the products of your competitors, right? The products of your competitors, because healthy competition is always good, right? So we always have to be on our toes with our competitors, right? To know where we are and always improve ourselves. Like, okay, these recipes of that restaurant or these mugs from that store is better than ours. Analyze why is it better and how can we be better than them, right? So always keep, like, let your staff know that you are really serious about this, and then it builds in their confidence as well, because it's very hard for someone who is paid to do certain things to become a brand ambassador unless they co-own your company, right? They make them part of it. So that is some of our solution to this question. There's a next one for thank you for.
yeah. So
There's
one
another
more.
comment here. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so
Chef Kukay actually sells taro leaves in coconut milk. That's the laing. If you're
laing.
familiar with
It is
that,
a laing.
yes, laing. That's very good. Laing. I like laing. So actually,
Yeah.
she started canning. She started canning already the laing because with the purpose of shipping it outside of the Philippines. In fact, she was telling us she has orders in Japan and something like that outside of the Philippines. So that's what inspired her to can already the laing. So that's her story. That's her purpose in
Wow.
doing
Yeah,
that.
that's very good, Ma'am Chef Kukay. You know, you're sharing Filipino food around the world and even Japan. You know, like usually lying is really hard to sell, but you're able to do this. So this is a very good story. That's very nice to share.
Yeah, and as a fellow chef who is representing our own national dish abroad, I really encourage you to take a lot of pride in the things that you do, that you are representing the Philippines outside of this country, right? And to the people who even inside the Philippines who have not tasted your laing, take a lot of pride in what you do and really move this forward, because I really hope this will become bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's so big that all the grocery store in the Philippines would want to have this on their shelves. And I think in order for us to do that, we have to go through a long process of FDA and stuff.
For sure, she can do it.
Yes, you can do this.
So yeah.
Yes, po. Any other
Me-
questions, po?
Meron pang comments or questions? So
Okay.
I guess
Thank you
that's
too,
it.
po.
Yeah. Thank you
this is
so
the-
much.
This is the third
Yeah,
noodles.
thank you so. No, the third noodle. Thank you so much, Titi and Joshua,
Thank you.
for sharing your knowledge and your talent and your expertise. So anyway, we move on to the next slide, Jomar. We'd like to present now a certificate of appreciation to Ms. Titi Shin for sharing her valuable insights, experiences about building a brand that lasts. Given this day, March, it's already March, sorry.
Wow, thank
March,
you.
yeah, March 4, 2023 in Mandaluyong, signed by Iris Jomar Santos, our training specialist, and myself. Thank you, Titi, again for sharing your experiences and your insights.
Thank
And
you.
now we give a certificate of appreciation to Joshua Quesada for
Thank
sharing
you.
his valuable insights, experiences, knowledge about building a brand that lasts. Given this day, March 4, signed by Jomar Santos and myself.
Thank you.
Thank you,
po.
Paul. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you po.
So anyway, we're really thankful that you're able to share. This is Vietnamese food already, and the experiences of having the Vietnamese food here in the Philippines.
Yes.
Actually, Vietnamese food at first it's not very popular, just like the Japanese food, right? The Japanese food was the first one that came in here, and then the Vietnamese food came after. But we see Vietnamese food everywhere. But mga micro entrepreneurs of Escaparate, doon po sa Ortigas Market, natikman po namin ang ang noodles ni Miss Titi at saka ni Mr. John. Masarap na masarap and very, very affordable. So sabi nga niya, the market po nila is the middle and the lower market. So hindi po ibig sabihin kung foreign food ay mahal na. Yan po ang hindi natin dapat isipin. Pero they guarantee na ang kanilang produkto, ang mga ingredients na ginagamit nila ay talagang authentic. Yan. Okay, so next natin, Jomar, is I believe
Group
it's the
shot.
group shot already. Okay, so open your videos.
Open yung video po. Request ko lang po. Yan. So, count of 1, 2, 3. Smile po. Another shot po. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay na po. With that, thank you everyone sa ating mga Skaparate
you.
members, kay Sir Joshua and Miss Titi. Maraming salamat po. At ang ating next session is bookkeeping naman po sa darating na Monday, March 13, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. po. Maraming salamat po sa lahat.
Thank you.
Thank you
po.
very much
Thank
po.
you. Bye. Happy weekend.
This is the formula that we can use in all aspects of our life, all areas. It says here, offense, ba? Yung hangin natin, yung grit, yung tapang ng loob, yung spirit, di ba? Yung energy. Dapat nandyan, no? Hindi tayo uurong. Sa konting problema, pak, sulong, bangon, di ba? Arangkada lang. And the defense. The defense, ito yung mental loss. Diba? Pag marami masyadong palaka around us, gamitan natin ang ating mental loss. Hindi totoo yung palakang yan. Guni-guni ko lang yan. Maliit lang sila.
Ang pamamahala po ng peligro ay actually isang cycle yan. 4 na steps, 4 na K. Para po madaling tandaan. Kilalanin o alamin ang iyong peligro. Ano ang sanhi nito at anong epekto. Ngayon, pagkatapos yan ay kilatisin. So alamin. Pag nalaman na niyo yung iba-ibang klaseng peligro, kikilatisin o alamin niyo po yung detalye ng mga peligro para mapili po ninyo kung ano ang uunahin.
Ano yung mga pwede nating gawin para maalagaan ang ating baga? So, ito yung mga usual health measures na pwede nating gawin. Unang-una, preventive medicine. Alam natin na may mga peligro sa ating paligid. So, as much as possible, kung kaya natin iwasan ang mga peligro sa paligid, makakatulong yan sa kalusugan ng ating baga.
Ang kaibahan ng Facebook ads, paid po siya. Versus yung ating mga organic kanina, yung Facebook page, yung personal account niyo, Facebook group niyo, marketplace, libre po yun. Now, ang advantage nun, walang bayad, ang catch lang nun, matagal, kakain siya ng time. On the other hand, pagka po may budget kayo at gusto nyo mabilisan, Facebook ads yung paraan.
Importante po sa mga nanay, isa-isahin natin ito mamaya, pero ito po yung magiging focus ng discussion namin ni Siggy, ang tamang paghuhugas ng kamay, ang tamang kasuotan pag ikaw po ay naghahanda ng pagkain, at kung ang pagkain mo naman ay kailangang lutuin, paano ang hustong pagluluto ng pagkain.
Yung tubig po na pinag-anuhan nyo ng pansit na doon. Okay, iwan po natin po sa camera ng 1 oras. Lagay nyo ng ganyan, hindi po siya yan po ang art ng pagpapaganda ng pagkain.